we go, the ultimate 3-and-D man. The answer to this question at some point is going to become Victor Wembanyama, but it isn't now. Vinny Goodwill, since they put the three-pointer into basketball, which player had the most combined blocks and threes in any one season?
There's two names that come up for me. If this is a true 3-and-D guy, Shawn Marion and Rasheed Wallace. Those are the two names that come up for me.
Okay. This is the most diabolical sneaky hembo of all time. In fact, I almost think it needs to be thrown out as a question. The answer is Mark Eaton, who had 456 blocks and 0 threes.
Didn't I say during the break?
84-85 season. Next on the list would be James Harden. And third on the list is Steph Curry.
That's what I was thinking, Stephen Curry.
Steph Curry had 402 threes and 15 blocks in the 2015-16 season. I think I speak for everyone when I say that question is unfair, it's unethical, it's immoral, and Hembo, your whole family should be embarrassed. That's what I say. In the meantime, let's run the floor through some NBA action from last night. We had the Celtics. We showed you full highlights earlier of the Celtics beating the Hornets behind Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. They both played great again. Hey, Iman Shumpert, are we seeing peak Jason Tatum once again?
No, we are not seeing peak Jason Tatum. We are seeing Jason Tatum develop confidence. But I think until I see him able to lift off that leg and really get some lift over that rim, I can't see him calling.
Will we see it? Do you think?
Oh, we're going to see it at some point.
This postseason.
I think he might have to run into the Knicks again to activate it.
All right, we'll see. Kevin Durant led scoring for the Rockets, winning their 7th in a row. Vinny, are we underappreciating the season KD is having?
We're underappreciating the entire career Kevin Durant is having, but that's in large part because of Kevin Durant's career decisions. Since he left Golden State, he's been looking to find a championship core and has not found it at all.
And then finally, the Thunder last night crushed a Laker team that was playing without everyone. Shump, is a Thunder title inevitable at this point?
It's not inevitable. I think it's definitely the favor of what's going on, but it's not inevitable.
Yeah.
They got a target on them, and the West is still the West.
And, Greeny, no team has repeated since 2017-18.
There you go.
Golden State Warriors of Kevin Durant and Stephen Curry.
That's exactly right.
Think about it.
We've had different champions every single year over that entire stretch of time. OKC goes in as the favorite, but certainly not all by themselves. Speaking of the Lakers, I want you to hear something LeBron said to Steve Nash. Now, this is part of a podcast. Bear in mind, this happened before this rash of injuries that, for all intents and purposes, has ended the Lakers season. But it does give you an interesting insight into the mindset LeBron has about his place on the Lakers right now. This is from the Mind the Game podcast.
I just think it's as simple as just not being an idiot.
Can you say that again?
Not being an idiot. I'm not an idiot. I'm sitting back and I'm like, AR and Luka look like they're just playing free. They look like when LeBron is not playing, they don't have to feel like they have to cater to me and make me feel a part of it or have to get me the ball, and it throws them out of rhythm. So when I was making my way back and when I was coming back to the lineup, I went to both of them and I said, listen, don't worry about me on the floor. Whatever mindset y'all been in while I was not playing, just stay there. Be aggressive. Y'all got the ball in your hands. I will figure it out.
I thought that was really interesting, and I think there's two questions that come from it, and they both really stem into the same area. Let's start with, what do we think that LeBron James is saying there about his future? Generally speaking, the Immortals have not been willing to take a lesser role, a third guy role at the ends of their careers. The all-time greats, and obviously wherever you put him on the all-time list, LeBron is in that conversation. So very few of them have been willing to say, I will take a step back and be in a supporting role at the end of my career. Sounds like he's saying that he's willing to do that.
Well, Greeny, at age 41 going into age 42, which he'll be next year, why would you want to be the second best player? Why would you want the load of the responsibility of having to carry? So if that's the case, perhaps LA in this Laker franchise, if they want you, will be the best possible place And again, Greeny, I'm not being funny here, but who's ever said, you know what? You know what's going to make my life better? Moving to Cleveland.
So that then brings us to that last question. Do you think, or the next piece of the question, Trump, does that sound to you like LeBron is saying, I want to stay here. I'm in the right place for myself long term. There are going to be contractual things that have to get figured out between now and then. But do you think it sounds like he sounds like a guy who wants to stay in LA next year?
Yeah, not only does he sound like he wants to stay, I think he sounds like he's willing to consider that they need to build a better team for those guys. You know, it's not just about him anymore. He's willing to take that back seat, but he's willing to be along for the ride and still be LeBron James in that locker room, and I can appreciate that.
If they put the right pieces around him, I mean, you know this as well as anybody. You played with LeBron when he was at his absolute best. He was, in the moments that you played with him, he was about as good as any player has ever been. Clearly, that's a long time ago. The combination of Luka Doncic, Austin Reeves, and LeBron, with the right pieces around it, is that a championship core?
No.
It's not.
You saying when they make improvements?
Yes, when they put the right pieces.
I got to see the home improvement first. I got to see the home improvement first.
So what do they need? So what is it they will need to get this offseason? If LeBron comes back.
Interior presence, period. You have to have those front court guys have to be ready to rumble and to move around. They got to be ready to score. You have to get more defensive backcourt. Like, it just is what it is, even if it's coming off the bench.
Can they win a title? Is this a team that could win a title next year with the right moves over the offseason with LeBron James on it?
All you want is a chance. All you want is to be in a 2-2 series in the second round against Oklahoma City or San Antonio. If you have those three guys, rim protection, perimeter defense, you want to be in that spot, and I think you can possibly be in that spot.
I mean, look, LeBron James, the way he looks right now, I mean, health being a separate factor, if he's willing to be in that third guy role, who says he doesn't have another year or maybe more than that at or near the top? Now, one of the young guns who's obviously coming up like crazy is Victor Wembanyama, and our next stop is him in San Antonio. He's listed as doubtful for tonight's game against Portland because of a rib contusion, but there is confidence he's going to play again this regular season, which is significant because he needs to play in one more game and play at least 20 minutes in that game in order to maintain eligibility for any NBA postseason awards. And this has become a huge topic of conversation. For today's Green List, I'm going to present to you the top 5 players in the league who, as of this moment, are ineligible for postseason awards. Now, 2 of them, that could change by the time we get to Sunday. With Cade Cunningham, it will not. Cade Cunningham is not going to be eligible for any of the postseason awards this year, and he certainly belongs on this list. Played 61 games this year. Detroit is locked in as the 1 seed in the East. He's the overwhelming reason why. He got a terrible injury. He will not be on any All-NBA teams. Neither will Anthony Edwards, who played in 60 games this year, averaged a career-high 29 points. Minnesota was 36-24 in those games. Both of these guys are probably first-team All-NBA players, and neither of them are going to be eligible. Nikola Jokic is one of the guys who could be. He's got to play 15 minutes or more in 2 of the final 3 games for Denver. He probably will, but as of this point, he's at 63 games. He leads the league in rebounds. He leads the league in assists. Nikola Jokic is arguably the best player in the game. Right now, he's not eligible. Luka Doncic. There's a lot of questions about this. He played 64 games. We know he missed some with the birth of his child. They may give him a special exemption. I'm not sure. But he's out for the rest of the regular season. He was the NBA's leading scorer this year, 33.5 points per game. Clearly a first-team All-NBA player, and it looks like he will not be eligible. And then there's the aforementioned Wembanyama. He has played 64 games. He's been the best show in the league this year. He's been the most exciting player and clearly the defensive player of the year, maybe the defensive player of a lifetime. He's got to play at least 20 minutes in one of their remaining games in order to qualify. The Spurs have had one of the great seasons in recent NBA memory, going from an absolute doormat to being the 2 seed, and it appears that's where they will be as this season comes to an end. So again, I'll make clear, Wembanyama may wind up being eligible. Jokic will most likely end up being eligible. But you could make a case, and this would not be to disrespect some of the other players who are going to be there, Jaylen Brown and some of the others who've had great years. If you wanted to, you can make a case this is the first team. Right? This is your All-NBA first team. I'm not 100% sure I'd vote it that way, but you could argue voting it that way. Right. And we could be in a world where none of these guys are eligible. Even as one who supports the 65-game rule, that's a tough spot, Vinny Goodwill.
I like the rule. I know that's unpopular right now. I like the rule. I think there are ways that you can modify this.
Tell me.
One, if you don't play 65 games, you can't win MVP, you can't make All-NBA first team, but can you make second and third team?
Okay.
Yes, I do, because there are precedents where players have played 58 games. 58 games is the stats marker, excuse me, to win a scoring title, to win assist title, and everything else. Maybe there's a space between 58 and 65. Because nobody's going to vote for an MVP if you're not playing most of the games anyway. So I don't have a problem with 65 games being the rule.
Although, I mean, one of these guys probably could be in that conversation. Wembanyama wants to be in the MVP conversation. Cade Cunningham was very much in the MVP conversation and is still the reason that they're at number one. There's also a conversation that I've heard about minutes, about the number of minutes played. I mean, LeBron James is ineligible. He has played more minutes this year than Victor Wembanyama has. Some of that is not Wembanyama's fault. They've been blowing teams out and all the rest of that. But you could put some sort of provision in there. Again, I like the rule. I like its intention. And maybe this is just an outlier of a year. But, Shump, we talked about it a little bit yesterday. If none of these five guys wound up on the team, it would be a very, very tough look.
Yeah, it would be. But like I said, rules are rules.
Yeah.
Like, we can't go away from rules. I hate that it happened to these guys this year. It's going to be another collection of guys next year and the years beyond that. So, like I said, you got to stand firm in it. I do like what he's saying, where you could be a second team or a third team. I even like what Danny Green said a little bit ago, saying that we should be able to go by minutes. If they logged enough minutes, it should be able to balance out, and there should be a little line there for us to, jump over. But if not, I totally understand to stick with the rule.
Look, throughout NBA history, there's only been one player to play fewer than 65 games and win the award, and that was Bill Walton in 1978. And the media didn't even vote on that. The media didn't begin voting until 1980, 1981. So historically, that has never been the case.
That's right. Walton broke his foot that year and missed like the entire second half of the season when they were the defending NBA champions. Again, it's just something to consider, because if you told me right now this was the first team All-NBA, you probably wouldn't get a fight out of it.